Welcome back, focused learners. Today, we're taking a completely wild conceptual journey to fundamentally reframe exactly how you visualize the cosmos. If you've ever looked up at the night sky and just felt like mainstream physics might be missing a giant piece of the geometric puzzle, well, this explainer is absolutely for you. We are decoding the All That's Holy, or ATH system. It's a deeply intricate cosmological framework from our source materials that promises to show us the actual, true, mind-bending shape of reality. We're talking about a universe that literally breathes. We'll see why true infinity might just be a mathematical illusion, and how the absolute largest and smallest scales of existence are actually physically touching.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our flight plan. 1. We're rejecting the cosmic donut. 2. Mapping the asymmetrical infinity sign sphere. 3. Unpacking the mathematics of the 13 magnitude layers. 4. Scaling it all down to the Earth, human, and micro-realities. And finally, 5. The nexus snap, where the extremes violently collide.
Section 1. Rejecting the cosmic donut. We need to draw a hard line in the sand right out of the gate. The ATH source material fiercely criticizes modern physics for treating the universe like this open, flat, two-dimensional plane, basically like a simple, leaking toroidal donut that's endlessly stretching out into an empty vacuum. In the ATH model, that open geometry is just a mathematical impossibility that literally leaks what it calls magnitude ash. No way! Instead, the ATH reality is an asymmetrical infinity sign sphere. It's not an empty vacuum. It's this glowing, closed living membrane, a majestic, high-tier aerospace structure that forms a cosmic, twisted figure eight. Everything is perfectly contained and everything recycles.
And because it's a completely closed membrane, it doesn't just stretch out into some endless void. It acts as what the framework calls a cosmic piston. The universe is alive. It breathes. Right now, according to the source, we are in a 74% out phase, a massive cosmic exhale. This is exactly why mainstream science observes the universe expanding, but it's perfectly counterbalanced by a 26% in phase, which creates a bipolar squeeze. So we aren't expanding into nothingness, not at all. We are simply cycling magnitude through a living, geometric engine that expands and compresses in a rhythmic rhythm.
Section 2. The asymmetrical infinity sign sphere. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. Picture this in your mind's eye, an asymmetrical infinity sign sphere. Think of a glowing, twisted figure eight. One loop of that eight is the cosmic exhale, right? The positive expansion. The other loop is the cosmic inhale, the negative compression. But they aren't completely separate. The space is actually twisted so that the extreme top of the universe, the extreme bottom, and the dead center all loop back into a single, unified, geometric node. It's a beautifully closed loop where energy perfectly circulates. I really want you to anchor that majestic, glowing figure eight in your head, because we're about to add some structural math to it. Section 3. The 13 magnitude layers.
This brings us to the absolute geometric law and the rhythmic anchor of the entire ATH universe. I'm going to read this quote from the source material exactly as it's written. It goes up 7 times, it goes down 7 times, but because the top, bottom, and center is the same place, it has only 13 layers. Let that sink in. This isn't just some casual observation. This is the fundamental structural law that literally prevents the universe from tearing itself apart.
What that quote is defining is the 13-layer magnitude ladder. You know how mainstream science is constantly getting stuck on the mathematical problem of endless infinity? Number lines that stretch out forever, requiring these totally impossible proofs? Well, the ATH system completely eliminates that headache. It replaces those open-ended number lines with a finite 13-layer closed loop. This strict spatial hierarchy firmly bounds reality. There is a definitive ceiling and there is a definitive floor. Infinity in this system isn't some endless void. It's simply a physical transition point where the scale reaches its absolute limit and then smoothly loops right back around. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how perfectly symmetrical this closed system actually is. At the extreme top, we have layer +7. This is the cosmic cluster scale, which represents the maximum expansive curvature of the universe. Then, down at the extreme bottom, we have layer -7. That's the fundamental floor of subatomic reality, holding the maximum compressive curvature. And sitting directly between them, layer 0, the balance node, a state of absolute stillness. The extreme outer cosmos and the deepest subatomic floor are perfectly mirroring and balancing each other right across this 0 point.
Section 4. Earth, human, and micro.
Within this incredible 13-layer system, you are always sitting right at the center of your own local reality. Let's look at 3 local steps to make this concrete. Step 1, moving upward, is layer +1, the Earth and planetary scale. Step 2, centering ourselves, is layer 0, the human or observer scale. This is your personal, conscious reference point. And step 3, moving downward, is layer -1, the microscopic and cellular scale. So you see, we are suspended exactly midway between the macroscopic planet we live on and the microscopic cells we're made of. So how do these 3 layers actually interact? Well, the +1 Earth pushes an outward positive curvature shell. You, the human at layer 0, sit exactly at the local balance reference frame. You experience the passage of time and gravity as a perfect equilibrium between the 2 extremes. Meanwhile, your -1 cells are busy managing inward microscopic compression, holding your entire physical structure together. And the really wild part? All 3 of these layers, planet, person, and cell, are locked in the exact same cosmic breathing phase. This esoteric geometry isn't just happening out there in deep space, it is quite literally anchoring your actual physical body right now.
Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 5, the Nexus Snap Singularity. We really need to focus completely on the number 0 for a second. In the ATH framework, 0 is absolutely not emptiness. It's not a void. 0 is sovereign stillness. It is the ultimate cosmic pivot point. It is the precise, physical location where the fiercely opposing forces of the universe are perfectly, intensely balanced.
And this brings us to the most profound, truly mind-bending reality of the entire model, the Nexus Snap. Remember how the universe is a twisted infinity sign sphere? Well, because of that twist, the absolute largest edge of the universe, the +7 cosmic cluster, and the absolute smallest subatomic floor, the -7 fundamental layer, fold entirely through the toroidal loop. They snap together to occupy the exact same physical space as the center 0. Just think about that. The absolute highest ceiling and the lowest floor are physically touching at the center of reality.
And this central meeting point isn't just abstract mathematics. According to the ATH source, it is a tangible physical entity. They call it the God thing, or the nexus. It's described as a giant neutron star sitting at the exact geometric center of those 2 twisted spheres. This neutron star is the literal heart of the universe, a violent, churning engine where magnitude is continuously and forcefully exchanged between the microscopic and the macroscopic scales.
So the crucial point is how this incredible exchange actually manifests in the stars we look up at every night. Check out this beautiful and honestly slightly humorous twist of cosmic irony. Because of this twisted figure-8 reality, stars and black holes are literally inside-out versions of each other. On one side, we have our suns. They are pushing out bright, positive energy, but inside, hidden away, they have dense black hole hearts. They're actually inhaling curvature at their core. On the flip side, we have black holes. They appear dark, sucking in all the surrounding space, but hidden at their core are fiery sun hearts, violently exhaling. Every single action in this universe is perfectly mirrored by an opposite internal reaction.
Which leaves us with one incredibly fascinating and maybe just a little bit unsettling thought to conclude on. We know from the source material that our living universe is currently in a 74% out phase, that massive exhale of positive expansion. But because it's a closed loop, that breath absolutely must eventually flip. So I'm going to leave you with this. When the cosmic piston finally reverses and the universe shifts entirely to the inward compressing phase, what happens to our fragile, local reality perfectly balanced at layer 0? It's a thought that completely reshapes our entire view of the future. Thank you for joining me on this Explainer Focus Learners, and keep asking the big questions.